I launched a really stupid web application in 4 hours and 15 minutes, just completely on a whim. In this video, I'm going to talk about how I did it, why I did it, and kind of what my approach was and how it's going to be going forward. Hope you enjoy. So it started with a pair of ideas. I had two ideas at once just kind of strike me out of nowhere.
I've got an idea!
I was working on dev cheat sheets, which is kind of the big main thing that I'm focused on, which is going to be a social media site and personal knowledge management site for developers. And in my head, I was like, okay, this is going to take me a little bit to work on. I'm going to kind of start pushing some of the deadlines out just a little bit. What can I work on now that I can kind of launch a little bit sooner? In my head, I thought this kind of social media site and this personal knowledge management site is kind of like a serious, big ordeal. Is there anything small and preferably stupid or goofy
Nightmare.
that I could push fairly soon and it not take up too much of my time, but still kind of give me some learning experience? And I kind of thought, and I said, how about a random stock picker?
That's stupid. You're stupid. Stop being stupid.
So I'm not a huge investor. I definitely don't day trade, but I did follow the Wall Street bet stuff back when GameStop blew up, and now I guess it's blowing up again as I'm making this video. And, I kind of followed it as kind of like an entertainment thing. To me, it was like a lot of comedy, watching people just absolutely light their life savings on fire, just gambling on the stock market. So I had watched it for a little while. I wasn't like super active on the subreddit or anything like that, but I kind of enjoyed watching it as entertainment, watching it as basically people playing a really weird kind of poker. But in my head, I was like, okay, we've got stocks, which are like the ultimate data point. There's just tons of data that comes from the financial markets that you can build lots of really cool stuff with. So in my head, I was like, okay, we've got a data source and we've got a bunch of degenerates, and I can make a website based on that. If you've got goofy people on the internet and you've got a data source that you can kind of show them or do something with, that's something. So in my head, I was like, let's make something very, very simple so I can launch it quickly. And then that kind of question burned in my head. I was like, how quickly could I do this? Over the course of the rest of the night, I banged away at some code. I deployed it on Vercel. I used shipfast, the template from Mark Liu, and I tried my best to build it as fast as possible, keeping as few features as humanly possible, keeping the design bare minimum, all of that. I think I succeeded on the bare minimum design. It is ugly as hell. And that is how randomstonk.com was born. Randomstonk.com will generate one random stock ticker every single day and give you just the bare minimum information about it. That's basically it. There wasn't that much to it. It's not something that I'm kind of using to show off. It was basically a way for me to learn a little bit more about how to launch things, how to put things out there into the world. And I think that's valuable. I learned a whole lot from it. Learning about things like SEO and open graph images and how to launch things on Reddit without really pissing off the mods, and how to launch things on Product Hunt, which is happening as we speak. I'm launching this thing on Product Hunt. How to set up analytics in a way that's intelligent, how to kind of design things on the fly very, very quickly, how to read static data from a JSON file. This is all super valuable stuff to know, and I learned a whole lot from this experience, even if I didn't develop something that's just mind-blowing or just super cool like a social media site. It's not high-tech, it's not that neat, but it kind of unlocked an idea in me where I was like, okay, I'm going to work on this one or two big projects. Like dev cheat sheets is still going to be the big project, and I'm still going to continue working on that for the majority of my time. But in my head, I was like, well, let's just start releasing dumb stuff like this, because it cost me $20 to get the domain. Vercel, I'm still on the free tier, and for the foreseeable future, since I'm barely using any of its features, I imagine I'll continue being on the free tier. I'll just build dorky stuff that I have fun with, deploy it, write about my experience, do videos about my experience, and just kind of see what stuff I pick up. I think it's like a valuable way to learn. I mean, I learned a ton just in like 4 hours today, going over like how to do all of this stuff. And I'm going to continue learning from it. I think I'm up to like 500 views on the web page in just a couple hours. So that's kind of neat. Already doing okay by those metrics. All I basically did in terms of like things that can benefit me was I put a follow button to my Twitter account because I'm back on Twitter now. And I put a Stripe donate button on the page that you can go to just like toss a tip my way, basically. You can choose what amount. It defaults to 420 because that's funny. But, basically that's just it. There's no way that I can bid. This isn't something I'm trying to use to blow up or anything. It's just kind of like a cool idea. The other idea that I mentioned that I had two at a time. I'm going to build that out this weekend, and I'm going to see if I can launch another one by the beginning of next week. But yeah, that's about it. randomstonk.com. It's launched. It's out there. Link in the description. All of that. Take it easy. Peace.